Yes, ma'am. Okay, let me get this ready. Okay, so Friday, we had it was like green pastures city. Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq, Russell all went up roughly close to 1%. S&P a little bit over 1%, and Nasdaq went haywire, a buck 50, a little bit over a buck 50. And we got some economic news on Friday that the jobs were still kind of hot, which kind of like this doesn't make sense why this would be like kind of going haywire. But it was just, I guess, rejection news, and the robots kicked in, aka algos, and just made it go up the yin yang. And you can see there was a lot of volatility, negative 5.6%, negative 5.62% down, still a lot. So there was it was very volatile, but on the negative side, which is kind of strange. So that's basically what happened on Friday. Pre-market, based on the news that we got that there's some war in Israel, it kind of brought the market a little bit down, but not overly much at the moment. So we'll continue to observe this. It's pretty early, obviously, and we'll see what happens in the mañana. Okay, so we'll close this out. Close this out. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. So let's see. So the winners, it was a very, very positive day, as I was mentioning. Winner, Vana, 5.62%. Coin, 5.21%, getting close to that mark that Leanna likes, which is 80. So keep a little tab on that. DraftKings, whoop, whoop, up 4.83%, pretty big. AMD, I got in this, but then I jumped out ship and I should have just stayed. I could have made some money, but I didn't. Wayfee, not good for me. So hopefully it turns around, goes back to being negative. Meta just went absolutely ham on this and kind of cray. Um, Riviano as well. It basically did the opposite of what it did the day before, which was a dump fest, and then it picked up and had a green march. A softy, and then everything else we can kind of ignore. The losers, Open, not surprised there. McDonald's, not surprised there. Walmart, XOM, oil went down drastically, I guess, been going down drastically. And Greeny, Walgreens, and Dollar Tree. Still less than 2%, but ranging from a buck to a buck 89 negative. Okay, so let's look at the symbols in alpha order. I may do alpha order one day, and then I may do another day just based on the net percent change of the dia. So Americana had a decent day on Friday, and you're just gonna see that theme throughout the day. On the daily, it went down on Friday. It was kind of like a little doji undecisive candle. It's still kind of a little bit on the upswing. Um, this thing is still very downward direction. With oil and everything and Boeing and everything not doing well. I'm still not sure if this is the best price that is in to continue to go up, but I shall see. I have a few shares on this. I have you can say I'm at the price at the moment. Sana, Mansana. So Mansana had a really great day on Friday, and you will see that most tech did well on Friday as per index. You saw that the Nasdaq was pretty high, and not surprised that this is was one of the ones in the batches because this leads the pack. And you can see that it has been going down, but the last 6 or 7 days, it has been doing a little inflection point where things have been going up. It is Apple. So if you see that this goes above the 50, you could potentially see this going back up to end the year on a high note. So just be careful because it is Apple. And if it, drops down, it gets below the 200, and that's when you can really say it's going to be doing a drop. But like I said, we'll continue to observe it because it's starting to go back up. We can skip AMD, but yeah, just saying that it had a good day. Amazoni, boop, 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 boop. Still below the 50, in between, again, the 50 and the 200, but and it had a good day. This was, wow, if you got on this one, you didn't go wrong. Look at this beauty. You just jumped in and sail away up to the sky. So this, you could potentially say that this might, go a little bit down on Monday, even if it's a green day, kind of do a little bit, go back to the mean. So hint, hint, people, wink, wink, potential little downward direction at the beginning, even if it continues to go up. It is being sued by multiple people, including the US government. AZO had earnings the other day. Like I said, this thing, again, if you pick this one, even better, because, the low was 24.76 and the high was 25.66. You could have made some little dinero there too. Boeing, awesome day too, but this thing has not been doing well. And I was looking at some of the statistics and stuff. It's not being managed well. They've been having a lot of issues with suppliers and junk, and this is why you have to be careful with this, because I think it's going to continue to go down. It's not looking good at all for Boeing. We'll continue to observe it, but just wait. Wait here at this 170 area to see if it breaks it. And if it breaks it, you can kind of say, hey, it's going to get to the 120. So if you're planning on buying this stock, don't buy it now. Meaty, we can skip. Caro, we can skip. Chewy, we can skip. Let's look at coin. So it's getting back to that area that somebody likes to short. So we shall see if potentially mañana gets there. The average true range of coin is about $4. So I can see that it might get over 80 tomorrow. So that's something to watch for. Hint, hint, put it on the notes because it's a really good level that somebody likes to look at. Let's look at Dashi. Dashi's been going down, and this one is like kind of good to short, I would think, as well, because there's really no support area here. And even though things were green on Friday, it wasn't the big green candle as most players or most stocks in the mercado. So this one may be a good one to kind of keep an eye out to continue to short. Vana, we won't go into detail. Dash, we won't go into detail. Dollar Tree, we'll take a look at. And Dick's. So let's do the Dick's first. So Dickie, again, if you bought it at the bottom and just held it, held your horses and maybe even got some more here. So if you got some at the beginning of the day and kind of got a refill, you would have done really well. Maybe sold it here, or even at the end of the day, you still would have made some really good
What else
money.
did you want me to put in the notes other than coin?
Amazon, did I say? I'll take a look at it again.
Just a second ago you said it. Before Dick's.
Was it Dashy?
I don't know. I don't remember. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, it was Dashy.
Okay.
That has continued to go kind of down. Yeah, it was Dashy. And then we also have said Amazon, that it could be a potential, like maybe at the beginning of the market, it does a little like turnaround and get back to kind of the mean area, because it was just extended a lot. And because it's being sued, it's not in the best graces. And I'm just saying, but the holidays are coming up, so buy the dip. It is Amazon. Okay, we can skip Fresh Pet, but thank you, Fresh Pet, for doing so well and being Fresh Pet. Just going down. Google, we'll look at EBC. Oh, did we look at Dickies? Yeah. Oh, yeah, so this is what I was saying. Dickie did well, but it is still going down. So just keep that trend in mind that Dickie is still going down. It will potentially reach the $100 mark, which is a good psychological level. And you may want to still see if there's another area here that is an area of support, because the holidays are coming and people do love to shop and people like to get a lot of gifts. So see if there's an area here of support that you can kind of see before it, does the inflection point, and you can, get it at good price, just like Nikete, also known as Nike. EBC had a good day as well. This one would have been money too. It looks very much like Dick's. Wow, if you got it here at 10 o'clock, which is what we've been saying, just wait for the 10 o'clock area, because it kind of then decides. It did a little like, hey, I'm going to trick people, kind of consolidate it here, and then it just took off. You could have gotten even here, got even more of a refill, and then sold off here, because then it just went flat. Google, another one. Another one. So this one, you could have rode the wave and you would have been fine. Everything basically on Friday was just a wave. I would say that this one is in better shape than Amazon. Then Amazon is in better shape than Apple. I haven't looked at Softy yet, but this one is the one that is in greatest shape. It's been really consistently above it got a little bit low, the 50, but even then, you can even see from January onward, it's just been keeping itself above the 50. And even now, it's still above the 50. And like we said, look for that area that we had identified here and potentially 150. So, this is a strong one. If you got it here at the dip, and still have it, good for you. This one is strong, a strong one for sure. And it moves about $3 a day, so it's a really good one to maintain and hold, because you will make money. Oh, so here it is. Tan tan tan. Here's the lovely Home Depot. It's at a level that we like. Look at how many times it has hit this area. It hit it on Friday, went past it, broke down, and got about to 287. It bounced back up, but you can see it wasn't like the other candles. It broke it to me. So you can continue. You can still have kind of faith in this, because you can see that the trend is still going down. That is going to continue to get below this 290. Things are gonna start getting cold from now on, especially for Home Depot. Macy's will ignore 1111. 1113 area at the moment, and we'll continue to observe it, and hopefully we can get out of that nonsense. Don't get this stock ever. It's slow. Macy's. Oh, I'm sorry, McDonald's. Hi, McDonald's. Again, a missed opportunity, and you can see that it did do its name's justice, because here's the M, McDonald's, and then downhill. It's hit this area, broke the 250. So there you have it, folks. If you want to buy this, wait till the good level. It's at a great level right now. So even if you get it here and it goes a little bit down, it's still at a good level. This is a great stock. It moves about 431, but we had missed the opportunity to short it. But don't miss out next time, folks. Meta, it kind of went a little nuts. So if you got this stock to go long on Friday, good for you. Even in the post market, it got all the way to 316. Yeah. Let's look at the daily. So yes, this one has been the one that has also been really above the 50. Hasn't really, it's, it's hanging around here. It's gonna break at some point. This is kind of the area that if you're gonna short it, you can maybe grab a little bit here, see if it goes a little bit above for the December timeframe rally or whatever. But this, because this was very extra on Friday, so it should level set a little bit for Monday. It may continue, but like I said, this is the area that you have to kind of be careful, because we do see this is very extended, and it should at some point go cray down, you know. So Meta, we did Meta, a softie, Microsoft. Um, okay, so it touched the 50. It looks like things are gonna start heading a little bit up, do a little rally, Santa Claus rally or whatever. Um, but we shall see with this war in Iran if that's affected the oil. But just be careful. Um, Beautiful. Again, it just, like we have said, everything in tech was just buy it at the beginning of the day, or pre-mark. If you had some and you had short and got out here, great for you, and then bought it again, even better. Netflix. So somebody was in this stock on Friday, and I'm happy for that person that was able to get out and made some money. And I'm glad that they stuck to their guns and got some dinero out of Netflix. So as you can see, tech went back up. It's still at a downward trend below the 50. It's at a good maybe position to buy the dip, if you will, to see if things are going to start coming up. But the trend is still kind of curving. Nikete. This is good. Nikete. Every day is just inching up, and I think it's gonna continue inching up. That's what it's gonna be doing. And there you go. Woo! NVDA, the hot ticker of 2023, didn't disappoint. It tricked some people probably at the beginning of the day, where if you bought it here and like, oh my God, it's gonna crash. And then it was just tricking people before it went all the way up. Open, it just did a little like upside down U, and it was negativo. And it's continuing to go down. Pardon the background noise. Some people are getting cereal. Okay, so Peloton, it looks like it's starting to go back down. It's curving a little bit. But this may do a squeeze, even though it's curving a little bit downward. You just have to wait, guys, because the holidays are coming. People are gonna start getting into their mind that they're gonna lose weight, and they have to do some New Year resolution. So, some crazy folk are gonna buy this bike, and it's gonna make it go up before it crashes down. So yeah, just wait, get the best price. If it goes back to here around 480 and below, and you want to do a little bit long, nothing wrong with that. But you should also keep in mind that this is gonna crash at some point. And even it had a great day on Friday. Okay. Arriviano. So I got a good price on this. I bought it at the top, and hopefully it level sets and gets to 18 or something, or whatever. Maybe I should put this down a little bit more. Maybe 1850. Yeah, so yeah, this should start going down as well, because this thing was a dumpster fire the day before. So, it had to do a little level set and go a little bit up, but it should continue to go down because there's no support until it gets to 15. So yeah, you can expect that this might go down unless the market brings it a little bit up before really crashing down. This thing is just losing money left and right. Okay, so that's that. Riviano, Target 105. Taco got downgraded. Let's look at Tesla or Stressla. So Stressla won't disappoint because it was a tech stock, and again, just ride up. This was a good wave to ride. It's 260.52 at the moment, and we'll continue to observe it and see what happens. This thing is nuts. All I can say. It's above the 50 now. It's been doing a little up and down, but this crest is lower than this crest, and this one is slightly lower. So, you know, if the market continues to do a little rally, yeah, it might go up a little bit, but um, I don't know if it's gonna, you know, go all the way back up, maybe to 300. We shall see if it gets at least maybe here. I could kind of see to 89, but we'll continue to observe it, and time will tell and be the decision maker. Wafy, please continue to go down. Let's look at Walgreens for a sec. Yeah, okay. So it did a little high note on that day that it did. But now it's starting to curve. It's similar to Piton, where it had a great extended green day, went cray. Then the next 2 days went up, and now it's starting to go stepping down again. So the trend is going down. The 200 and the 50 period tells you that it's going down. Let's look at our favorite here, Campbell's, before we forget. We have this. It did really great on Friday for us. We really like this stock at the price that is in. It's starting to go down a little bit. It did a really crazy down, and then it went back up. It's been, you know, it had 3 days of kind of staying in this area, and then it went down. Even though it was a green day on Friday, it went all the way down before going back up. So we have to be a little bit careful because I don't know if it's going to continue to go down and stay kind of in this area before then it picks up back up, because the trend is really a downward. So just be careful, my friends. But yes, this is a good buying opportunity as well. Walmart, our friend. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Very interesting. So everything was down, but I believe this was in the Dow Jones market, which the Dow Jones didn't do as well as the NASDAQ. But you can see that this had a really kind of nasty day. It's starting to go down, kind of following all the retails slamming down. Not looking really good for Walmart at the moment. It was really tremendous. Negative 1.56%. Muy interesante. So yeah, if you shorted this puppy at the beginning of the day until 10:30 or even until 11, and then you turned around and longed it, you would have done fine. But it didn't do well. It didn't do well. I think that this turned around because the market was so strong. But I think if the market wouldn't have been as strong, I think this would have continued to go down. Sorry for the background noise, folks. My kids are being extra today. XOM, you would have thought that this would have gone down more, but I guess the market kept it up. And even though it was kind of choppy at the beginning of the day, I would say after 11 o'clock, it just took off as well and did green. And this has been consistently going downward. It had the good day on a Friday, quote unquote. This may go pick up back up a little because of the war or whatever, but we'll continue to observe. But you can see if you shorted it here, like we always say, if you look at the high, I think Leanna called this out. If you got it at the top here, and you took a chance and shorted it and just waited a couple of days and you're here, good for you. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. Um, that's basically it. Let me look at my other list. Okay, so as you can see, the VIX was crazy. Doc. So Lifty went crazy, 8.20%. Coin, Florida, that's for Lucker. Space, Virgin Galactic, man, 3.70. And Affirming, Upstart, and Disney did well, but we would like it to go like 10% up if possible. Thank you, Disney. General Electric, and here's Campbell, Athlete, and UNH. CVS, not surprised because Walgreens didn't do that good. Dell, yada, yada, yada. Hog. Hog is now below our area. I got a notification on Friday that it got below $30. So the last time that this was here, it was on July, it hit it. And then back in October of 2020. So now we have to observe if this is gonna go below this area and kind of bounce around here like it did because it really liked it. So if you can get it around here in this area, I would say between 28 and 25, even better. But continue to observe it and see and get the best price that you can. So it's something to watch. Put it on the notes for Hoggy Hog Hog, at least for the viewers, so we can keep a little tab on this interesting ticker, if you will. Hoggy Hog Hog, which is also a long play for us. So if you're gonna get this, guys, you have to kind of anticipate that it's not gonna be, something for the short haul, but something for the long haul. Okay, and that's basically it. If someone has any questions, please let me know. I do have a little change now. I'm looking more at the Wall Street Journal now because my Barron's, I don't know what's wrong with it. So I'm starting to get used to the Wall Street Journal. I do love Barron's more, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. We got to play with what we got. Okay, so if something pops up at you, please let me know and maybe we can read it out loud. And investors hope earnings seasons will revive stocks. I don't know if you want to read that one. Okay, let's see here. La 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 la. Pa 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 pa. Stocks. Okay, stocks rally after investors digest jobs report. Stock fund surge in the second half. S&P doesn't have job report. Okay. Wow, this was a real winner. Falcons, 124%. The winner here, huh? La 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 la. Okay. Let's see. Let me look at the beginning here. So this is what I was talking about. Iran helped plot attack on Israel, blah, 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 blah. They're going crazy over there.
No, it's Sherlock, obviously. I was thinking.
Oh, I was looking at this. Home Depot tracked a crime ring and found an unusual suspect. I thought this was interesting, but it's 8 minutes, so I don't know if we're gonna have
Let's
time for that.
listen.
Huh?
Let's listen.
You want to? It's long.
I know that.
Do we have time for this?
If you don't want to listen, we don't have to.
No, I do. I
Yeah.
liked it. Hold on. Let me just tell the folks to be quiet. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. People were rowdy, and I had to, say something. Share sound. Okay, here you go. We have 9 minutes, and this is 11 minutes, so hopefully you get
Home
this.
Depot tracked a crime ring and found an unusual suspect. Law enforcement personnel and retailers put more resources toward investigating resale operations they say are built on stolen products. By Inti Pacheco. October 7, 2023, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. For years, Robert Dell ran a drug recovery program at what was known as the Rock Community Church and Transformation Center in St. Petersburg, Florida. On the side, prosecutors say, Dell also ran an organized retail crime ring. The pastor had been working as a fence, the middleman buying stolen goods from thieves and reselling them for a profit, according to prosecutors. Dell was telling people who went to his recovery program to steal tools like drills and pin nailers from Home Depot stores all over Florida and drop them off at his home. Using the eBay account Anointed Liquidator, he sold $3 million of items online since 2016, Home Depot and a search warrant affidavit said. Dell and 4 other people, including his wife and mother, were arrested in early August in Tampa, Florida, after a 7-month investigation in which Home Depot collaborated with Florida law enforcement. Dell is now facing charges including racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, and dealing in stolen property. Dell, 57 years old, has pleaded not guilty to the charges. He was released on bond in late September. An attorney for Dell declined to comment. Executives at retailers such as Walmart, Target, Macy's, and Dick's Sporting Goods in August blamed criminal networks for causing problems with their inventories, with some adding that safety incidents are increasing. Some companies like Target, Nordstrom, and Nike are going further and permanently closing stores they say have been hard hit by theft and crime. Dell's case highlights the challenges that retailers and law enforcement have in stamping out complex retail crime. Collaborations between the parties can take time, often years, to connect individual thefts to larger organizations or groups. As a result, companies dealing with a surge in thefts are putting more resources into their own retail crime investigations. They are also seeking collaborations with police and resale platforms to stop people profiting from their stolen goods. Prosecutors across the country have said they are stepping up efforts to target fences. The fence is crucial, said Scott Glenn, Vice President of Asset Protection for Home Depot. A successful organized retail crime organization has to have somebody pulling the strings. Fences can obtain their supply of goods from boosters or people who are willing to steal for small cash payments or drugs, and often provide them with lists of merchandise they want, according to authorities. Fences often turn to online marketplaces to unload goods, but they can also look for buyers elsewhere. In some cases, they operate wholesale businesses that supply retailers or marketplaces with legitimately acquired goods as well as stolen items. This year, U.S. attorneys in Washington, Texas, and Pennsylvania announced the arrests or sentencing of individuals accused of making millions by selling stolen items through e-commerce platforms such as eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, and OfferUp. Those who steal cannot reap their profits without someone to resell, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said in a statement. In a report about organized retail crime, Bragg said that his office is focusing on prosecuting fences to cut the profit out of these crimes. Texas Comptroller Glenn Hagar said in September the way criminals steal from a retailer and use online marketplaces to sell merchandise presents unique challenges, including jurisdictional issues. In Seattle, authorities are aware of several fencing operations, but staffing constraints are hampering police from pursuing investigations, the city auditor's office said in a July report. Retailers on the offensive? Before Florida authorities began building a case against Dell, Home Depot investigators started looking closely at 2 people whom they had linked to thefts at stores over a period of years. Home Depot, similar to other large retailers, employs loss prevention personnel to monitor security footage at stores and prevent theft of its merchandise. The home improvement chain has 2,322 stores across North America and generated $157.4 billion in annual revenue in the year ended January 29. In early March, a loss prevention investigator from the company identified 2 people leaving a store in Ruskin, Florida, carrying 2 cordless impact wrenches and cordless die grinders that they didn't pay for, according to a search warrant affidavit. The investigator photographed the car they left in and provided the information to law enforcement. Agents from the Florida Agriculture and Consumer Services Department conducted surveillance operations in April and May and identified the suspects visiting Home Depot stores in 7 counties. The agents then saw the car drive to Robert Dell's home, where the pair would drop off items inside a garage. Law enforcement agents in May obtained details of Dell's eBay seller account, Anointed Liquidator, which linked him to the address where the suspects were delivering the stolen goods. To confirm the location, Home Depot investigators bought a pin nailer from Dell on eBay and later returned it. Officers confirmed the package had been returned to Dell's home a week later. Officers in June arrested the 2 suspects as they were exiting a Home Depot store with products that were believed to be stolen. One said she had been stealing items for about 5 years and that Dell would direct them to obtain specific products and would purchase the stolen merchandise. She also told law enforcement that there were other groups of people also working for Dell that she had encountered while dropping off goods at his residence. Dell initially paid them about $5,000 to $10,000 a day, but more recently they were getting only about $600 to $2,000 because they were unable to steal as many items, the woman told law enforcement. She said that she had been arrested before and that Dell had posted bond payments for the pair and knew the merchandise was stolen. The retail industry uses the term shrink to quantify losses from theft, as well as from lost or damaged goods. Shrink accounted for $112.1 billion in losses in 2022, up from $93.9 billion a year earlier, according to a recent survey by the National Retail Federation. The average shrink rate reported by retailers was at levels similar to 2019 and 2020, the survey showed. Retailers are exploring myriad ways to address continuing problems with theft, ranging from permanently closing stores they say have been hard hit by crime to locking up more items on shelves as a deterrent. On a recent call with analysts, Lowe's executive said that the company was developing technology that embeds radio frequency identification in power tools, rendering them inoperable unless they are scanned and purchased. There has also been a rise in violence and intimidation associated with store thefts, retail executives said. Target chief executive Brian Cornell said in August that the retailer recorded a 120% increase in theft incidents involving violence or threats of violence during the first 5 months of the year. In April, a Home Depot loss prevention employee was fatally shot inside a store in Pleasanton, California, after attempting to stop a female suspect from stealing. In September, a CVS store manager in Mesa, Arizona, was shot and killed by a customer after a confrontation when the customer returned with a gun. Tracking down the goods. Authorities and loss prevention experts say the easiest way to unload stolen merchandise is selling it through online marketplaces. Congress passed legislation in June seeking to deter people from acquiring and selling stolen or counterfeit items online. Resale platforms, which supported the legislation as a way to deal with the surge in retail theft, are now required to track and get personal information for all sellers with 200 or more transactions and making at least $5,000 in gross revenue during a 12-month period. eBay's Criminal and Regulatory Investigations Supervisor, Christian Hardman, said his team works with retailers and law enforcement to review more than 500 accounts every year that appear to be fencing operations. Under the Anointed Liquidator account, Dell conducted some 10,500 sales from January 2020 until May of this year, netting about $1.5 million, according to the affidavit. eBay in the quarter ended June 30th reported having some 1.9 billion listings on its website. Hardman said the accounts typically maintain a high positive feedback rating because they sell their inventory for below retail value. Buyers are happy overall. They're getting a good deal and the sellers are willing to make the transaction as pleasant as possible, he said. To find offenses, retailers will tell eBay about specific items targeted by thieves, and the company can identify sellers with large inventories of those products. In some instances, eBay will ask the seller to verify their inventory and who they are. eBay initially flagged Dell's account internally for suspicious activity in 2017, Hardman said. And while sales continued for years, he said the issue never fell off the company's radar. It wasn't until 2021 that Home Depot investigators started gathering evidence that the goods that Dell was selling online might have come from boosters. Once there was enough evidence that linked the boosters to Dell, the information was presented to law enforcement and eBay shut down the account earlier this year, Hardman said. After the suspects in Tampa were arrested, the number of thefts at Home Depot stores in the area